All right. Okay, let's open in prayer. Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you for this study. And just thank you for the ladies that are joining us today. Thank you so much for Cammie and for Brandy. And Father, I just pray that more moms would be able to, with young children, would be able to join us. In your precious name we pray. Amen. Amen. See, I put the plug here, but I didn't plug it in.
Am I the only one who needs childcare?
No, Linda needs childcare as well.
No, but not during the school year, right?
Yeah, she's a 5, a 7, and a 10.
He's in kindergarten.
He's in kindergarten, so you're the only one.
Worst case, I mean, if you're fine, I can always wear her so we don't have to pay for somebody too, because she usually naps.
She usually naps now.
That out.
That's going to be your call because
Okay.
I was really petitioning for childcare
Well, it might open more
this
doors.
time.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
because...
well, let's keep it going and see what Netta does. I mean, I'd like it because then I can actually.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And you can actually pay attention because I know how that is too. I did that.
3 hours. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay.
Okay, just
Also
to open up, I want you to be familiar with your books. So I know there are newbies and there are people that have done it before, but review is always good. The best thing to do is to take your book and put it in a 3-ring note binder, because then you can flip and you can move the pages where they need to be and all that kind of stuff. You'll notice on the very top of the page, on lesson 1, it will tell you what you need. Some of these things you'll go, I don't even know what that means. What I want you to do is go to the appendix. Okay? So there's only 7 lessons. You have 5 days of homework in each lesson. Sometimes one day is going to take you longer than maybe another day is going to take you. But set aside an hour. If it takes you more than an hour, maybe put it to the next day. Because an hour sitting with this is enough.
Right.
Because you need to chew. You need time to chew and meditate on what you've learned. So in the back, you're going to find what's called an observation worksheet. It even says it right underneath it. Okay? That just means this is what you're observing. This is the text, double-spaced. And this is your worksheet. You're going to mark all over this thing.
So you don't actually do it in your Bible, more on the paper?
Totally up to you. If you want to do it here and then go, this is what I want to transfer to my Bible, it's up to you. If you want to do it straight from your Bible, do it straight from your Bible. It is up to you. I do find sometimes I don't exactly get to the transfer part, so all of it stays here because I'm busy doing something else. I don't know what your bent will be, but you make that call. You know, you just make that call. This, again, they will always be called your observation worksheet because this is where you work and mess up and color and list and all this kind of stuff, okay? When it says your at-a-glance, what do they call that? At-a-glance chart, okay? This is an at-a-glance chart. That means you can look at the book at a glance and know what each chapter is about, okay? The reason they only have 33, 34, 35, and 36 of 2nd Chronicles is because that's all you're observing in this lesson, or in this unit, okay? All of that's going to be in the appendix. So that's why I say put it in a 3-ring note binder so you can take them out and put them in the lesson they're supposed to be in, okay? It also talks about this really big, long chart of kings of Israel and kings of Judah and all that kind of stuff. Now, those of us that have gone through all 1 through 9 have all this kind of stuff written all over our chart because that's what we did. I'm going to make a copy of this, okay? Send it, and I'm going to give it to the people. I'll just put it out there. So this is almost an at-a-glance chart.
Yes.
You can look at the kings of Israel and the kings of Judah, and those with the black heart were not good kings. Those with the red heart were good kings. Very few red. Very, very, very few red, okay? Okay, the ones that have studied with me before on kings and prophets, tell me why we studied kings and prophets of Israel. Why would we do that?
Well, the prophets usually tell you what is going to happen.
The prophets usually tell you what's going to happen in that present time or in future.
In future, but they also warn them, the bad kings,
Yeah, right.
what's going to happen if they don't
Yes.
adhere to
Right,
God's room.
right.
Nobody ever did it.
Do we just study this to get a historical point of view?
No.
I mean, sometimes, I mean,
Well, we do get that. We do get that, but is that the only reason we're going to study kings and prophets of Israel, Judah?
No. Well, it's life lesson for us.
It's a life lesson
Right,
for
I
us.
you can apply it today.
Right,
Right.
right,
Right.
right.
Because, I mean, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And the
for sure,
ugly.
you know.
And we can apply that to our life because we've got good, bad, and we've got ugly that we don't want anybody to ever know about us.
Yeah.
That we just want to keep behind, but God knows that.
Yeah.
Okay? Could you say that one of those kings was good, bad, and ugly, but God used him anyway?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it would be David's son.
David and Solomon.
Yeah.
Yes. And what about
Yeah.
Saul?
I saw kids right.
It's
Sure
in the
will.
FLC building, and oh gosh, she called it a certain room.
I see kids right by the, I thought it was basketball.
Let me-
I'm so confused, no, not this.
Oh wait, okay, here we go. I can tell you what room. Chick's room, room
Oh,
100.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay. I don't know where that is, but I know she would know where that is. Do you know where that is?
100.
I work with
100
her
is in
mom.
Do you know where the Chick's room is?
Yes.
Good, see? This is what I want. Sidebar. This is like a huge passion for me to get moms like Brandy and Linda that need childcare. And it's like, well, I'd like to take a daytime study, but I haven't got anybody to take care of my kids.
Right.
And I was like that, and I would be calling friends that homeschooled. Could you watch my kids for? And then I'll watch your kids for, going to dealing, wheeling and dealing. And then they would provide childcare through the Bible study. I was like, whew, okay, that's good. So now I can come. This class is providing childcare for any mom that wants to come.
That's great.
Period.
Period.
They have to have 2 workers because that's the law.
Definitely.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah,
law.
definitely.
No matter how many kids, they
I'm gonna
have
post
to
it
have at
on a
least 2.
couple on our moms and our small group, just
Yes.
so that we can maybe utilize them.
Yes, that's why I told Linda, how do we get more moms in
I'm
here?
gonna post
Because
it
it's,
too.
and she said MOPS. She posted it on MOPS, and I'm a MOPS mentor. So I knew a lot of those ladies in there, and I've spoken a couple times at MOPS, so they have a face with a name. But if you know of a mom that's at home that would like to come, but she has small children at home, we have childcare. And it's only a 7-week course. So we're done October 1st. October 1st, yeah. So just know that's just been something I've been trying, I think, ever since we've been doing this, to get childcare provided, period. But then, of course, I have to know if you're coming and if you're not, so that we don't have childcare workers there for no children. That's a huge thing. Okay, so back to study. So, again, at a glance, here's your book. It's okay. I'm like, breathe.
Everybody's rushing in today.
Well, yes, this is kind of a crazy week, but
No, it works.
it's worse. It's still worse than crazy.
No, it works, is what I said.
Oh, it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, at a glance, because you can look at your book of Bible at a glance and know, where was that chapter that had we'll put notes in here so that we'll know what was there, okay? I discussed the observation. Okay, on lesson 1, I want you to tell me, those who have done inductive study, what is our first step? What's different about inductive study than sitting in church?
And sitting
Than sitting in church getting it from church.
because you're into it. I mean, you're going verse by verse. And
Exactly.
You're going chapter by chapter.
Exactly. And who's teaching
reading
you?
the chapter 50 times. And
This is no exaggeration.
and you read it and you say, when then she says read it again, I just did that.
Did
But anyway,
Right.
it's between you and the Holy Spirit leading you
Yes.
and guiding you through that and just soaking it up.
Exactly. So observation. This is inductive study. These are the steps: observation, interpretation, application. We cannot apply until we have observed 99.999% of the time. Then we can interpret it and apply it. But we can't interpret it and apply it without literally hours of observation. I describe observation kind of goes in stages. We're kind of helicopter. We're kind of reading it, And a lot of times you'll read it and go, I don't even know what that means.
That's why you go to class.
So you just continue to read, and we don't camp there. Because who's the author?
God.
Holy Spirit's the author who's inside of you.
Holy
So the author is right there reading it with you. Okay? You're not going to understand everything by being a helicopter. That is impossible. Okay? You can't go rescue the soldiers unless you land. So you're going to have to land at some point. When she tells you just to read through it, just read through it. Then you'll actually know, oh, this is talking about, okay. Now when she says, now read through it and look for this word, this word, this word, and this word, and mark this word. Okay, now you're starting to kind of come in for a landing. All right? In the back of your book, they will have an example of how to mark words. Okay, and somebody that has also done this before, tell me, why do we mark words?
It's really fast.
Yeah.
You can find your
Well, we're
question.
going back to it with the other lessons, so we know what that
Oh, that helps
refers to.
too. That helps too. When you go back from a different lesson into another lesson, you'll go, I did that in lesson 1 and I can't remember what I learned about that. These are ways to mark. It is totally up to you. If you don't like the way they decide that, then mark it someplace else. It's just totally up to you. What I would like for you to do is pull out Deuteronomy 28. Okay? Or turn to it if you don't want to take your book out of the little glue it's in right now. Deuteronomy 28. All right, and they're going to tell you, let's go to your first, it says lesson 1, and it's going to give you instructions of what to do on your first day. Okay? What page is that?
It's on 7
Thank you.
and 8.
177.
Which I think I pulled out because it gave you a list of stuff that you need.
Yeah, it's a long.
Right? Yes, this one right here. I'm going to send some of these around. This can be your word. Put your words on there that you're marking and how you're marking them. And just keep a running little card. Okay? Because you're going to find that in a different lesson and you're going to go, how did I mark that again?
And keep it away from your dog.
Just pull this right out here.
They eat it, that's really
Okay?
exciting.
What's that?
My sheet, I had like a whole thing.
Yes.
And wouldn't my dog eat my Bible,
dog
he also
ate it.
ate my observation
Yes.
notes.
Just take one and pass it on. Okay, let's read the first one. And it says, sometimes we miss God in the events of life because we do not understand his full counsel. We want to know and be assured of his love, experience his kindness, to present him to the world as merciful and compassionate, which he truly is. Yet because he is holy, righteous, and just, there is of necessity a severity in his dealings with his chosen people Israel, and the nations of this world when they spurn him. It is our prayer, beloved, that God will use this 7-week study to help you understand more clearly God's kindness and severity. Kindness to those who continue in his kindness, severity to those who do not believe and obey. She's also going to tell you we've come to the last of the Kings and the Prophets series. It doesn't matter if you've taken 1 through 9. Okay? That just doesn't matter. We can jump in anywhere we want. On page 8, it says Deuteronomy is often referred to as the second giving of the law. Tell me why that would be.
Because he gave it in.
That's right, because Moses gave it in Exodus. So who wrote the first 5 books of the Bible?
Moses.
Moses. So Deuteronomy is the 5th. What's about to happen in the 5th?
They're gonna go into the.
They are going to go to exile. And
They're not. Yes, they can't go into the land. They've been in exile for how long?
Into the promised
over
land.
40 years.
40 years.
Who has been with them the whole time? God. And right, the pillar and the cloud at night, the fire by night. Who else has been leading them? Moses, who doesn't get into go into the land. Moses, who's about to take them into the land. Joshua and his good buddy Caleb.
Where's Aaron?
Aaron's dead. Aaron and Miriam are dead. Think about this. How many funerals they've had to have.
Yeah, really,
Wow,
40 years.
And a lot of mass.
And a lot of mass burials, right. In the desert, you think about Joshua and Caleb, okay? 70s, 80s. They're getting ready to go into the promised land. And they are just as strong as virile as they were 40 years ago. But they're the only two that old. Just them. Everybody else is 20 years and younger, so they could be 60 tops. Because they've been wandering the desert for 40 years.
Yeah.
Tops. That's a giant gap here of all their buds that died. I mean, think how many people Joshua and Caleb buried that did not give a good report. And they're dead. Now Joshua and Caleb get to go into the land, and now Joshua is told, you're leading the people into the land. This is where we're going. Deuteronomy is the second giving of the law because Moses is coming to the end of his life. Why do you think he needs to give it again?
We all need reminding.
We all need reminding. We all need reminding. We had the Ten Commandments. What else did they have in Exodus besides the Ten Commandments?
Golden calf.
Yeah, the golden calf. That would be helpful. Yeah, we don't want to remember that, do we? However, you need to remember your mistakes, right? So you don't repeat them. They had a lot of if-then statements. Cammy?
Don't they get like a lot of the procedural ones?
Yes, that's exactly what they get. Why do they need all those procedures and stuff? What are they going to be building?
The temple, the
A
ark.
tabernacle.
Tabernacle.
Right. What is the tabernacle an exact replication of?
The tabernacle in heaven.
The tabernacle in heaven,
Yeah.
okay? So that's why it's so important that they do it exactly like he tells them to do, which they do. And then that moves with them through the 40 years, right? Okay? So now they're going to go into the land, and what could happen now that they're in the land? And this tribe's here, and this tribe's here, and this tribe's here, and this tribe's there. What could happen?
They'll get mixed up with them and their gods.
Yes, because people are in the land. It's not vacated. Okay? And their gods. Why would that be so easy to do?
It's a tolerance.
Tolerance. Because we're just tired of war, and we don't want to totally annihilate them so we can have the land, and they'll just cohabitate with us, right? Coexist.
And they're-
Does that work?
They're farther from their primary teacher.
That's a huge thing. They are farther. Now, remember, where was the tabernacle when they were in the wilderness? Where was it always set up?
In the middle of the camp.
Right in the middle. And then you've got 4, right? Tribe. 3, 3, 3, 3. Right in the middle is the tabernacle. Is that going to happen now? No, it's not. So what does you think Moses is afraid they're going to do?
Forget about God.
Forget about God. Okay, he's not just afraid that they're going to do that. He knows that they're going to do that because that is their given habit. Okay, so we already know a lot about the children of Israel already, right? How can we apply that to our life?
Well, the mistakes they made, we are all going through it now, and we learn what they did and
Yes.
what was wrong and what God's standards are.
That's it.
And you hope we don't do it.
And we hope.
But we do it anyway.
Okay, now you think things are going to be really going good in the land?
No.
No, it'll be a struggle after struggle.
It will be a
That
struggle
all
after a struggle to get these people out, right?
Right.
But remember, he also said you're going to go in and you're going to eat food that you didn't plant.
Right.
You're going to go into houses you didn't build. You're going right?
Right.
So what could happen? No more struggle
War.
or peace, right? We have everything that we need. So who are they going to forget?
Forget God because
Yeah.
they have plenty.
Forget what they need.
Who provided for them every single morning?
God did.
Manna. Okay, we have got to be dependent on God because if he doesn't give us food to eat, we can
You'd
eat.
think when their shoes start falling apart, they'd be like, something's off.
Right, because this has not happened in 40 years. We have not replaced our shoes or our clothing in 40 years, right?
Right.
Who provided for them then for that?
God.
That was
Like
God.
you would think like they'd see like supernatural.
Exactly.
But if that's all, but this group never had not had that.
No. And they were not slaves in Egypt. This is not the group that was slaves in Egypt. They all died.
Right.
Okay? All right, so you got a little bit of a history there. She's going to tell you, we're going to be observing Deuteronomy 28. That means just read it. In preparation, she has you go back to Deuteronomy 26, 16 to 19, so that you know, here's the setup for where you're jumping into the middle of the book. Okay? Catch the immediacy in Moses' voice when he says, today. That's in 26, 16 to 19. You're going to write down little different observations you've realized about that. Then you go to page 9, and let's jump to number 3. Instruction 3. Now we're ready. You will find an observation worksheet on Deuteronomy 28, okay, in your appendix. Now you see all those words, A through G? She wants you to go through and read and look for obey. To look for blessing, curse, the land, besiege or siege until you are destroyed, and then using a pencil just put a check, which will look like that, on the verses that talk about what's going to be like in captivity. Wait, we're going into the land. Why would you want to be learning about captivity? Because see, when you jump in, it's like, this is what's going to happen if you do this. We know through history the if happened. And this is exactly what happened to them while they were in captivity. What I want us to go through and mark, that she doesn't tell you to mark, is the Lord will or the Lord shall. So you would add that onto your card, the Lord will. Okay, decide how you're going to mark it. Use a colored pencil or a pen or whatever. Decide how you're going to mark it. Do that, and then let's go through and make a list. You need a colored pencil? Because I have one.
No, I just want a pencil.
Okay. You will be surprised how often that is repeated. Okay? Then I want us to find out why we would mark something like that. Okay? All right, let's read Deuteronomy 28. Now it shall be, if you diligently obey the Lord your God, being careful to do all his commandments which I command you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. All these blessings will come upon you and overtake you if you obey the Lord your God. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the country. Blessed shall be the offspring of your body, and the produce of your ground, the offspring of your beasts, the increase of your herd, and the young of your flock. Blessed shall be your basket and your kneading bowl. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. Verse 7.
177.
Oh, yes, 177
I'm
is
sorry,
where
I'm
this
having a
Deuteronomy
terrible
28
time
is.
trying to find some.
Is everybody with me?
Back.
In Deuteronomy 28? Either in your word or in the appendix.
There you go. Keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Keep going.
Trust me, this is a very friendly class.
Gotcha.
There is no stupid question. Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
No stupid question.
There's no stupid question.
Good.
That does not happen here. Please spread that around, okay? Never do I want you to go home and go, oh yeah, I get it, in class, and go home and go, I have the foggiest idea what she's talking about. Please do not let that happen, okay? I would never want that to happen. Verse 7. The Lord shall cause. Okay, circle that. Color it. Do something. Look who's causing your enemies who rise up against you to be defeated before you. They will come out against you one way and will flee before you 7 ways. Verse 8. The Lord will. What's he going to do? Command the blessing upon you in your barns and in all that you put your hand to, and he will bless you in the land which the Lord your God gives you. Verse 9, the Lord will establish you as a holy people to himself, as he swore to you, if you keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk in his ways. That is another thing I would also add, is the if, then. Because There is always an if and then. Okay? And it's very important to know God has conditions. These are conditional promises. If, then. Okay, verse 10, is that where we are? Okay, so all the peoples of the earth will see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they will be afraid of you. Are people afraid of Israel today?
Yeah.
I'm afraid of Israel. I don't know about the Middle East being afraid of Israel. They all want to kill them, but me, I'm like,
just want to get
don't
rid
mess
of
with
them.
Israel. You will lose every time.
Well, that's why they want to destroy it. Because
That's right.
They don't want any God.
It's just a
our
thorn in
God.
their side. Right,
Yeah.
this little old country. That's right.
Well,
Verse
there's-
11, the Lord will make you abound in prosperity, in the offspring of your body, and in the offspring of your beasts, and in the produce of your ground, in the land which the Lord swore to give to your fathers to you. The Lord will, verse 12, open for you his good storehouse, the heavens, to give rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand, and you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. The Lord will make you the head, not the tail. And you only will be above, and you will not be underneath, if you listen to the commandments of the Lord your God, which I charge you today to observe them carefully. Do not turn aside from any of the words which I command you today, to the right or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. But it shall come about, if you do not obey the Lord your God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes with which I charge you today, that all these curses will come upon you and overtake you. Now we don't get the blessed, we get the cursed. Cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the country. Exactly opposite of what we just read. Cursed shall be your basket and your kneading bowl. Cursed shall be the offspring of your body and the produce of your ground, the increase of your herd and the young of your flock. Cursed shall you be when you come in, and cursed shall you be when you go out. The Lord will send you upon you curses, confusion, and rebuke in all you undertake to do, until you are destroyed, and until you perish quickly on account of the evil of your deeds, because you have forsaken me. So see, you don't have to go, but why is all this happening to me? Because you have forsaken me. It tells you right there. The Lord will make the pestilence cling to you until he has consumed you from the land where you are entering to possess it. The Lord will smite you with consumption, and with fever, and with inflammation, and with fiery heat, and with the sword, and with blight, and with mildew, and they will pursue you until you perish. Mildew. What kills? Black mold, right? Is that a surprise? Shouldn't be.
Really?
Never, I'm not
See?
gonna look at my shower the same anymore.
Now remember what the heaven would do? It would rain upon your crops, right? The heaven which is over your head shall be bronze, and the earth which is under you iron. Now what does heat onto iron do?
Melts.
You can't touch it, right? It's so hot it melts. Right.
Yeah.
The Lord will make the rain of your land powder and dust. From heaven it shall come down on you until you are destroyed. The Lord shall cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You will go out one way against them, but you will flee now, not come back in. You will flee 7 ways before them, and you will be an example of terror to all the kingdoms of the earth. So now they're not going to shake and fear you. You're going to be afraid of them. Your carcasses will be food to all birds of the sky, to the beasts of the earth, and there will be no one to frighten them away. Now, birds of the sky. I know cardinals and mockingbirds and blue jays, and they're not birds of prey. They don't eat flesh, but there's going to be so much flesh that they will, because it says all birds of the sky. The Lord will smite you with the boils of Egypt, and with tumors, and with the scab, and with the itch from which you cannot be healed. The Lord will smite you with madness, and with blindness, and with bewilderment of heart, and you will grope at noon as the blind man gropes in darkness. And you will not prosper in your ways, but you shall only be oppressed and robbed continually, with none to save you. You shall betroth a wife, but another man will violate her. You shall build a house, but you will not live in it. You will plant a vineyard, but you will not use its fruit. Your ox shall be slaughtered before your eyes, but you will not eat of it. Your donkey shall be torn away from you, and you will not be destroyed or restored to you. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and you will have none to save you. Do you see that? None to save you, none to save you. That could be a phrase you might want to start marking because it keeps being repeated. Anything that's being repeated, probably put that on your list to mark. Your sons and your daughters shall be given to another people while your eyes look on and yearn for them continually, but there will be nothing you can do. Again, no one to save you. A people whom you do not know shall eat up the produce of your ground and all your labors, and you will never be anything but oppressed and crushed continually. You shall be driven mad by the sight of what you see. The Lord will strike you on the knees and legs with sore boils from which you cannot be healed, from the sole of your foot to the crown of your head. Okay, at this point I'm like, I don't want to do whatever God just said not to do because this list is way longer than the blesseds. All of a sudden I'm getting specifics of bad things that are going to happen to me if I don't keep them continually. Was this a burden that was too heavy for them to keep them continually? No. Much easier actually to keep them than to not keep them. Why would Moses be warning them?
Because he knows that what they're going to do. They'll be tempted and they won't be able to withstand.
And he's walked with them for 40 years through the desert.
So he knows
the
that.
way.
He knows the ebb and the flow, and the ebb and the flow, and the ebb and the flow, right? So he knows this people, stiff,
Yeah.
right? Stubborn neck people. So he knows this is going to happen to them. So I want you to picture him speaking this to the millions of people as the way only Moses, right, can speak. That would put the fear of God in me right there. Just
Yeah,
with
really.
Moses, who speaks for God, to speak to me.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is what's going to happen. That would make me afraid. Okay, do you think it's going to take generations and generations for these people to forget what Moses said and how he said it?
But they're supposed to be teaching them in the
Right.
morning.
It's supposed to be teaching when they lay down, when they rise up, and when they walk in the way, right?
Right.
So that way you can't forget. So that would be like a daily thing, so that you remember, remember, remember. But what did they do with that? Remember, remember, remember.
Well, you get busy and you don't, you skip a day and then you get busier and you
Right.
skip a week and
Well, you know what you.
ashamed to get back in.
There you
it,
go.
so you-
See, we've already applied it to our life.
Well,
we already
you
go,
know-
oh my gosh, that's me.
And it's
That is
kind of
me.
like what Chuck said one day with his sermons, and he said, you know, he always had a word for, not for Zach, but for the other son in the
Seth.
morning. Seth. Every morning he would say,
Yes.
I forget the phrase, but anyway, and then the son kept saying, yeah, Dad, I know. So, you know, and you kind of relate to that.
You do.
Yeah, Dad, I know. You know,
Yep.
we're not supposed to do that.
Right, right, right.
So sometimes it kind of goes here and out that
And out
way.
the other, yeah, yes.
We get
And as
used to
parents,
it.
we can totally relate, can't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yes. I'm not going to read the rest of it because you can tell the Lord
It's
will,
long.
the Lord will, and the Lord will. Okay? But again, that's not something she's told you to mark yet. She may further down the line. Okay? Also, don't think that I have done every lesson way before you've done it, and I am right there with you doing 5 days of homework and then 2 hours or more of prep for class. Okay?
That's why I keep wondering. The Jews are supposed to know this by heart.
Yes.
Why are they blaming now? Where were the Christians when
Bad things happen to
Hitler
them.
was taking the people?
Right.
Didn't they know this? But every time he comes on, he said, where were the Christians when this was happening?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they have a good point.
Where were we?
Where were we?
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely have a good point. Now, I've taken you through almost 2 days of homework because you'll notice she has day 1 and day 2
Okay.
combined. So you split it up however you want to split it up. If you've got more time on one day than you do the next, fine, do that. But you see how we've gone through observation. We haven't even finished reading it through yet. and we're interpreting it, what does it mean? Okay, I'm thinking I know what it means. How are we going to actually really know what it means?
Well, we have to read it and ask the Holy Spirit to guide us.
Yes, we're going to have to
Tell us.
observe a whole lot more.
Yeah.
We call it chasing rabbits. Sometimes we go, that's really cool. I wonder where else he said that. Okay, be careful. Be careful. I keep a list of rabbits I want to chase, and then when I have time, or if I have time, I chase them. Sometimes I can't help myself and I chase it and my time goes away and I'm like, oh no, how am I going to finish? Don't let that happen to you, okay? Because I get up really early in the morning when that happens. Because I can't let that happen. Because I have to stand up here with all my homework done, right? And it's like, oh, I should have chased that rabbit. However, sometimes really cool things happen. Yes. When I get all my homework done, I'm like, oh good, I can go look up that word and see where this was used here, and maybe that will help me understand this context. When you have time for that, that's awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. If you don't get all of your homework done, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's totally okay.
Yeah.
Come.
Yes.
All right? Don't let
Amen.
Satan tell you, oh, you didn't get your homework. You can't come. You can't. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to it's too hard. I am not smart enough for that. Don't listen to that. Just don't listen to that. Because it's just a lie. And it will rob you of treasures that God has just to show you just through his word. Reading it is enough. Reading his word is enough to get it inside. Application will come at the very end of our lesson. If we don't have that application, there's no need for the lesson. Because that's the whole point in that, yes, we know Israel's history, but we see God's faithfulness and how he provided and what he did through all this stuff, even though they were so disobedient and griped about his provision. We do the same thing. They're sick of manna. They don't want manna anymore. Fine, you want meat? Here's your meat. Plethora of meat till they were sick of meat. So they're from one end to the other. I don't like it. Well, we do that with the weather. We don't even have to do that with manna. We just go, it's so hot. And then it rains. I'm so sick of rain. Or it's not, oh my gosh. We do that. That's just our nature. Okay? We're just never satisfied. What does Paul say? Contentment is a learned thing. It is a learned thing. I've learned to be content. Okay? That's just the polishing off. Again, no application, there's no need for the lesson. As you come in, I will have a PowerPoint that I can email to you, so don't worry about writing everything down. If you want me to email it to you. I know, I tried to change the color of the font. It was horrible. It won't change. It'll change the dot, but it won't change the font.
Really?
No. It's like, but I'll work with that.
Okay.
And I'll write them up here. One of my favorite things to go to is BibleCC.com. Okay? I don't have a marker. Anyway, write it down, BibleCC.com. When you get there, there's so many 3-letter acronyms everywhere. Just look for LEX. That's lexicon. When you click on that, then you'll see down there's a place for you to put the book of the Bible that you're in, and the chapter, and the verse. And it'll come up all the way at the bottom, and you'll have all these words. Every single word in Hebrew that you want is right there. You want to click on it and go, well, what does that really mean in Hebrew? Click on it. Gives you the definition right there. I used to have Strong's and then Zodiates and then my words of the Old Testament right here. So, you had to have a whole table so I could look here. Tiny little print. It's right there. It is right there at a click. So, I highly encourage you to do that. If you just I just don't understand what this is, go to BibleCC.com, click on it. Maybe I need to read it in a different version. All you have to do is click on what different version you want, and it'll come up like that. And again, everything you want to look up is on that site. Another friend of mine says BlueLetterBible.com. They love that site. if you may like the outlay of one more than the other.
Is Bible CC the same as Bible Hub?
I think it is, and it'll say online parallel Bible is what it'll also say. So that's an easy one.
They also have Bible Gateway too.
That's right. There's another one, Bible Gateway. Is that .com or .org?
.com, I think.
.com. And then preceptwindermere.com.
That's important.
That's very important. When we are taping the class, I'm not allowed to tape the DVD that will run afterwards. You can always borrow the DVD. But should you have to miss the class for a doctor's appointment, a sick baby, you're sick, something happens and you just can't come, the class is taped and it's on preceptwindermere.com. Okay? It's not live, it's taped. Okay? So when I get home, Ron does his magic and however he does that, and he puts it up on the website through via YouTube, something or whatever. So all you gotta do is click there, all the attachments will be there, the PowerPoint will be there, and the notes to the DVD will be there. Okay? Again, you have to borrow the DVD if you want to watch the DVD because there's copyright on that. I will always have them. You just let me know, I want to borrow this one because I won't be here. Fine. There you go. Is there any other thing? Don't think so. Any questions? Any questions? Are there things that you're looking in there and going, I don't really understand what you meant about? Like I said, there's no stupid question, ever. Ever. And I'm always happy to repeat, because that's how I learn. And I'm very visual. You'll notice whatever helps I bring are usually visual, because I learn visually. No? Okay. There's my contact information. I would hope everybody has that. My cell number, my email. You have my email. You have my, yeah. So you may not have my email. It's Jenny_Goins@icloud.com. And then, of course, if you need to call the church, especially like for childcare, will you need childcare this year? You don't need it at all.
No.
So, okay, it's just Brandy. Okay. So
They're all in elementary school.
whomever you need to bring. I don't care if it's just you.
I'll actually be able to go out to lunch with you guys.
Yay! That's another thing. Some of us stay, some of us go to lunch. If you don't like where we're going to lunch and you want someplace else, get your own group and go there. It's just, we are not this closed group. We just aren't. I stay typically, and then we'll go out to lunch as long as I have time to do that. If we can. If we can't, then we don't. It's just what if sometimes we just walk down here to Dixie Cream. You know, I love down Dixie Cream. I love Dixie Cream. They love it when we come in. She's so excited when we come in. Oh, it's she loves it. Great service, great food. But again, if you don't want to go there, you go to some whatever. We are up to that. We do that a lot. Yes. The biscuits. There is a lot of interaction in the class. I facilitate. I ask a question and then, so you guys have to answer or there's going to be a long
Even if we want to
silence.
answer.
Until Lois has the answer, then we okay.
Yes. When Louise has the answer. If she doesn't, then we continue on.
Louise
Exactly.
has a, that's why I said she remembers.
Anything else?
I can't remember.
Again, I usually start promptly at 9:30. Okay.
Yes, she does.
And I'm trying this time to keep it to an hour, tops hour and 15-minute lecture, facilitate, so that we can get out by like 11:45 or so.
There's my husband.
Okay. Your choice to stay for the DVD or not. I highly recommend that you do, because Kay usually comes at it from a different perspective than I would have ever come at it. Which is why, again, I preview that and take notes, because I don't want to talk the same thing she's going to talk, and if I don't preview it, I'm not going to know that. But I'm here if you, again, no stupid question. If you don't want to ask in class, you'd rather just text me or email me, don't do for that, okay? I am the #1 kid that was in public school going, especially in math class. Candy cannot relate because she's so math-minded. I wish I were. Okay, everybody got the lesson? I go home, oh my God, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. Please show me how to do this. I don't get it at all. not at all. But I was not going to be the stupid kid in the class that asked the question that probably everybody else wanted to ask, but wouldn't because they were just like me. But I was not going to be that kid. I would go home and figure it out on my own, which is why I wasn't very good at math. Okay? Please don't. I am the number one kid that did that, so there is no stupid question. And if I said something and you go, I don't understand what you just said, tell me. We'll go back, we'll repeat it. It's just not anything in here that's a stupid question. This is the Lord's class, this is God's word, and we're gonna get it together. Some of the stuff we're gonna read and go, yeah, not a clue. Sorry, can't help you. I don't have all the answers. That's why we study together. Okay? Prayer requests I really, really like, but I want like a list back there to keep up, or email them to me. But if somebody's going in for surgery or there's really something serious happening, that we will stop and pray that morning. We have done that before. Okay, and we will continue to do that again because that's very important. Okay? Any question?
Can I make an announcement?
Go for it.
Mops?
And there'll be like
I
4
know
or
it's a
5
weird
more people
announcement
here.
for mops because you guys are not mopsies.
Do they start this week?
No, it starts the 1st of September.
Oh, thank you. I was like, I don't think they start for another couple
No,
weeks
they don't.
yet.
But I feel like I've been like,
John's almost awesome.
yes, that's what I'm doing. So I feel like I've been sitting on like you guys and taking you all up for myself. And the other moms need you guys.
Yes.
If you,
yes.
we have enough, thankfully, for our group. But the other group, moms next, is
At
over in
Lakeside.
Lakeside.
Yes.
And they are in need of mentors.
Are they really?
And they are. They
did
are
not
in
know
need of
that.
mentors.
Growing.
Marianne is a mentor over there.
Yeah.
Amy's not. That's right, Amy. That's
Yeah.
right.
So if you guys have such wisdom, I learned so much from you guys. You
Me
guys
too.
don't understand. And Jenny was a mentor for a long time, and we're giving her a break this year. But if you guys have the ability, they meet twice a month, and I can get you in contact with Samantha Watson. They are moms of children that are elementary school and older.
Yeah.
And they just need someone to,
They're in all different walks.
Yeah.
Some believers,
They are.
some aren't.
That's the truth.
and
Bye.
it's a really
You
good
head out.
great
Bye.
step.
Thank you for taking her. Thank you.
So if you guys have the ability to maybe, or just think about it, but think quickly because
There's
it
no
starts
prep.
September.
There's no prep.
There's no
You just
prep.
come
You
sit
just
down.
show up and you love on
And they
moms.
feed you.
They feed you.
Good.
What day is it?
It's on Friday, the
First and third.
Friday of the month. And it's from like 9:15 to 11:30 over on Lakeside campus.
And they're prompt.
Yeah.
Childcare is getting out at 11:30.
Well, they don't have childcare because all
Oh,
their
that's right.
kids are older.
That's right. That's here.
Yeah.
That's right. But
So-
they get out on
Where do
time.
they meet?
Over at Lakeside?
No,
Oh,
where?
I don't know.
I think it's back in the kids area in one of the bigger rooms back there.
Last time we
I
met, it was
wonder
in
if
the
it's in
student room.
117
I
and
thought it
where
was in
the
the-
youth meet or something like
I'll
that.
can
They have
ask
people
Samantha.
outside directing you. I
So
do know
they'll
that.
even
Yes.
get you
I mean,
in.
I go to Lakeside, so I know the campus, but I'm trying to visually figure out where they would be.
I go there like a handful of times.
Usually